Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. How's that bite? I'm Miguel Malenciano, and this is Evolution Angler Bassin. And today, we have a special edition of What's in the Box. We're gonna take a look at my tackle box for the pre-spawn. Gonna give you a little bit of an in-depth view as to my methodology going into the pre-spawn, how I plan on fishing, my techniques, my presentations, and how I plan to continue that trend moving on into the spring. So you can see the racks are starting to look a little empty behind me, but the table's looking full. So let's just jump right into it. Come on, pick you up, put you on my chest. All right, guys, so let's start off here with my most fish category, which is gonna be the worm department. In the spring, I usually like to maintain and stick to certain colors, and those certain colors are gonna be basically a play on red and your darker tones. Like right here we have red bug, motor oil, black and red blue, and that's just in curly tails alone. It doesn't matter the size to me. Go anywhere from 12 inches, 5, 6 inches. I also like to stick to a lot of your darker hues as well in terms of purple, in terms of like that natural copperish tone. Then on the other end of the spectrum, what I might do is just bold it up and go completely white, depending on the clarity of the water where I'm fishing. I like to stick to that. Again, your natural reds, motor oils, your play on reds basically. Same thing goes for drop shots. Again, here your natural red with the cream scoundrel. Your purples with your Nico rig style worms. And then this year, what I'm actually doing is throwing some homemade into the mix. So here we have a ton of trick worms, and exactly as I explained before, your natural red, purple, and darker hues. You know, that's just something that personally works for me in my surrounding bodies of water, and if it ain't broke, why fix it? If I do jump to a nice bright color, it's gonna be something similar here to this methylate kind of color. I do love fishing pink and methylate trick worms in the pre-spawn. In the spring in general, you know, I feel that it's a great combination. It's a great pattern. And, you know, here's just an example of some homemade ones. What I like to do is fill in my shades in terms of anything I can anticipate to find from murky water to clear water, and in terms of points of the day, keeping in mind cloud cover and whatnot. So, you know, I'll go to a little bit darker tone or a little bit more translucent tone. Say sun is high, I'll definitely jump to that translucent tone. Say half an hour before sundown, then I'm gonna go to a little bit of that darker tone. And I do fish a lot of ponds, a lot of bluegills in the ponds. So, you know, a lot of bluegill tone Senkos and grubs. Moving on, the one category that I do fish a lot throughout the year, but I tend to shy away from a little bit in the pre-spawn, is gonna be your soft plastic swim bait category. Specifically your smaller size. There's very few swim baits that I will go to in the pre-spawn, and those being either your very small 2.5, 3, 3.25 real bright tone, bright color swim baits. Here's the Exo Swim by Biospawn. Or if not, what I like to do is blend a nice dark natural tone with a loud bold color pearl here. Same thing, the Exo Swim, but this is going to be your big boy, and I primarily look to do that with the bigger average size swim baits, because you can use this in a variety of waters. Again, murky, clear, this will work pretty much all around the board. And the other option for me in the pre-spawn in terms of a swim bait is going to be something along the lines of a bluegill imitator. In terms of color anyway, here we have the Mega Bass Dark Sleeper, and it does have your bluegill tones to it, so you know, this was one that fit the bill, so here it is. And the other category, not necessarily a true swim bait, but a soft jerk bait. Hard to beat. The one color that I do love fishing a lot that you don't see here is going to be the white, but you know, your smoking shad, your Tennessee shad kind of colors, your baby bass, that's primarily, I find a lot of success with that in the pre-spawn here. again, in my surrounding areas for my situation. Another weapon of choice, the jig category. In terms of jigs, I'm gonna like to keep it in 2 places specifically for the pre-spawn, which is gonna be your play on your natural browns and reds. I'll have a variety of those, and your black and blues. 2 that I am anticipating fishing a lot. This specific pre-spawn is going to be the Beast Coast Hybrid Hustler Finesse jigs. You know, have a little bit of marabou on them. I believe I got one in the Rayburn Red and another color Bruise, which is black and blue, just a variation of. But I'll stick to those 2 colors specifically for the pre-spawn. And if I do shy away from those 2 colors, it's going to be something of a play on those colors already. A little bit of a bright flash on it. And again, this is going to be for your dirty water. A little bit of a different category. Your swim jigs. I do love fishing swim jigs in the pre-spawn. Now these I like to imitate bluegill, pumpkin seeds, your sunfish, you know, your local forage. And these I'll try to get them with a little bit of a flash of orange on them. If not, then like a flash of red or chartreuse. Just something that boldens it up, something that screams out, hey, I'm here, especially in dark water. Then my favorite of the jig category is going to be your vibrating jigs. So these I do have a little bit of a wide assortment, especially in the pre-spawn, where they tend to work a little bit better than other periods of the year. So I started with the chatterbait, just how everyone else has, and I've expanded a little bit. You know, so I'll start out with a red and black chatterbait, the original, but on my hands I also have a bucktail chatterbait in white. This will do good in dirty water. Your jackhammers here, black and blue and golden shiner. I believe this is the Bruce Pumpkin. Then the same deal, you know, I like to have your play on reds. This is more of a little bit of a brown tone. This is the Freedom football style head, swing head here. If not, your chartreuse. Your chartreuses work wonders in murky and stained and any kind of water that's not clear and you're having trouble getting bites. This will do the job. And I'm moving on a little bit beyond Z-Men, just to see what the rest of the competition has. So this year I included a Terminator vibrating jig. Not necessarily the exact same. I'm just curious to see how other companies are dealing with the fact that vibrating jigs are a mainstay now and are here to stay, and seeing what they can bring to the table. So there we got the Terminator shuttering bait. Then trailers, of course, trailers for all these jigs. Same deal here. So I'm gonna have your red, your black and blue, your bluegill imitators. What I will do though is vary the style of trailers. So I'll go anywhere from very thin tail swim bait kind of trailer, which I'll use primarily on chatterbaits. Sometimes I'll use a craw kind of trailer, especially as the water is colder. I'll start off of these, and as it warms up, something with a little bit more action. And then again, adding homemade to the mix. So got a couple creatures here, a couple different successful colors for myself anyway in terms of the pre-spawn. Just adding it to the mix. Top water. So I have a couple frogs in the mix here. Really won't use those to at least spawn or post spawn really. But I do have your poppers, red and black for the pre-spawn. Your whopper ploppers here. Same deal, black and red. If not, the other end of the spectrum, there's a perch imitator, but with the white belly. Very key, it does have orange and rose across the belly. And a couple other top waters there that, to be honest, don't really use much of in the pre-spawn, just like to have in the tackle box as an option. Spinner baits. Here we'll have your spinner bait slash buzz bait box. Not a lot of buzz baits, but we like to go heavy on the spinner baits, especially in your loud, real bright, in your face colors. A lot of chartreuse, as you can see here. Chartreuse everywhere. You can tell I'm pretty comfortable with chartreuse and just bright colors overall for my spinners. And very key, again, this is all subjective, not objective. My favorite spinnerbait to go with is your common Booyah Pond Magic. You can find these anywhere from Walmart to Bass Pro Shop to Amazon to Tackle Warehouse. You know, just a deal that works. If it ain't broke, why fix it? And another category that I don't really fish much of is your treble bait category in general. Really don't fish much of this. Have heavy vegetation, a lot of weeds where I live and in the surrounding area. Apart from the spring and fall somewhat, I don't see myself going to this well a lot, but I do have options to play with, and now's the time. So I'm gonna get my kicks in this year with what I do have, and what I do have is as follows: Jabberjaw in your bright color, and your black and red. Black and red is definitely a must for treble bait, for treble hook baits in the pre-spawn. OG Slim number 6 is swim bait, hard swim bait here. This is a glide bait, hard glide bait here. Should be with the rest of the glide baits, but I just have it on deck there. Your jerk baits. This I do enjoy fishing some in the pre-spawn, so. Then we're gonna have your real bright colored blade baits, Red Devils. These are real fun in the spring for me. Couple Bill Lewis Rattle Trap specials. Golden Shiner with your orange belly, bluegill, orange belly. Couple jerk baits, you know, some jointed shad wraps. That's gonna do it for this box. Again, not the most heavily used box in my arsenal. Then I do have swim bait. Then I do have a swim bait wrap here, which will go in the hull of the boat. Then you're gonna have your bullgill, your bull shads, couple real high definition swim baits in terms of the paint jobs. Then same deal here, glide baits, glide bait, just river to sea, S waver. This should go tucked in here. Jackal Gantarelle Jr. You know, these will get heavy use in the spring. I will admit I don't fish them much after, but in that pre-spawn to spawn and a little bit in the post-spawn, this will get its use. Then we're gonna be moving on to terminal tackle. So terminal tackle is gonna be pretty straightforward. So we're gonna use the following style hooks here a lot. You're gonna have your drop shot hooks. You're gonna have your EWG style hooks. You're gonna have your even smaller drop shot hooks. Flippin', Nico, Wacky, tapered spring, swim bait. Your trailer hooks, which I also use a lot for worms. Just rip off that tubing and we are good to go. Weedless Nico. You have your shaky head, swim bait head, and just a couple backup 3/0s, 4/0s. Oh, heavy duty flipping. Not necessarily for heavy vegetation, but into thin timber, you know, some branches and whatnot. This will get you through there. Moving on to weights, you're gonna have your rattling worm weights, your tungsten worm weights, your worm rattles, tube rattles, beads, different sizes, different colors, red and chartreuse. Barrel swivels, must especially for a lot of worm fishing. Tungsten nail weights, Nico rigs, some shaky head jigs, some drop shot weights, some egg and split shot sinkers, definitely a must. Some pegs and some flipping dip. This stuff is sauce. And yeah, we're almost through it. Apart from that, we got a catch board here, we got some pliers, we got some scissors, and we got the scale. And that's that. Bada bing, bada boom. This is my pre-spawn, what's in the box. All of this will get condensed into this nice plain old 3700 series bag here. Really need to get myself a black pack soon. But yeah, a lot of work just for the pre-spawn. A lot of lures. Hold on, YouTube. We'll get you back up here. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for my pre-spawn what's in the box. I know this time of the year could be a little bit daunting in terms of tackle selection, in terms of just getting back in the flow of things in general. But hopefully this video was able to help you out and give you an idea as to maybe a couple things you're missing for your pre-spawn tackle. Remember, everyone is gonna be their own separate individual case. Your style of fishing and your body of water are gonna be unique to you. But you can always play it by ear in the terms of a general sense of things. You know that certain colors are gonna work predominantly. You know that certain patterns and techniques are gonna work. So it's just a matter of finding what works specifically for you, styles of fishing that you enjoy, and really just fine-tuning it from there. I'm really a soft plastics guy, as you can see, so you know, even though the pre-spawn is really a time to get in there with reaction, and I do have it in my arsenal, I still like to throw my soft plastics. So that's exactly what I do. I throw my soft plastics. I don't just get by with it. I do damage, and it's a confidence thing, you know. Always remember, throw what you have the most confidence in, because it could be a bait that's caught millions of fish for everyone else, but if you haven't caught a fish on it, you don't have any confidence in it, it's not much to do there. You're not gonna get much from it. So again, I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to click that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to comment as well. You know, tell me what you think. I was out doing a little light fishing today from the bank. Not a lot that could be done, but we're here. We finally hit 60 degrees for the first time in New York, so boat's out of the Finesse factory. It's waiting in the driveway. We should be out on the water soon, finally. But for now, YouTube, I got a little bit of editing to do. Just remember, I'm Miguel Malenciano. This is Evolution Angler Bassin. We're evolving together, and I'll catch you next time.